Hello, my name is Seamus Moran Olmsted, and today I'm excited to present my NBA Fantasy Basketball Trade Analyzer, a Chrome extension I developed to help fantasy basketball players make smarter trades using AI and computer vision technology. I hope this showcase will provide clarity towards my ISTEM application, as the extension itself is tedious to install due to requiring external software. Managing a fantasy basketball team involves constantly evaluating trades, but manually researching player rankings, recent performance, and trade needs can be time consuming. My extension solves this problem by automating the analysis process. Fantasy basketball players face a common problem. When evaluating trades between two teams, they need to consider player rankings, positions, recent news, injuries, and overall team composition. This typically requires opening multiple tabs, checking player statistics, reading recent news articles, or manually comparing team strengths. This process can take 15 to 20 minutes per trade evaluation, which can stack over time and take away from your school and work experience. But what if there was a better way? Introducing Trade Kings Fantasy, the extension I built that uses OCR technology and AI to automate this entire workflow. And here's how it works. The extension allows users to select any area of their fantasy basketball web page, extracts player names using optical character recognition, retrieves player rankings and positions from my database, and then uses Google's API to provide intelligent trade analysis all in about 30 seconds. Let me walk you through the basic workflow. First, here's you. You interact with the Chrome extension, which will take a screenshot of your ESPN page. The extension sends the front end of the extension sends it to Flask, and Flask uses Terrasact OCR to query the CSV database and find the player info. And it sends those players along with their info to the Gemini AI and will return trade recommendations to the user. Now is time for a live demonstration. So here we are on our trade page. You can obviously see my team and my opponent's team right here. The extension won't take that in, but what it will do is give you a trade that will benefit both parties. So right now I'll click up here toward this extension icon in the Chrome toolbar and click Trade Analyzer. This will pop up the pop-up window, and it will show any previous analysis, and it will have a button to start a new selection. So when I click the select area for analysis, the page will dim and my cursor will become a crosshair. And now I can drag to select the area containing the two teams I want to analyze. And so I'll select this just to get all of these players in there. And so this process usually takes about 20 to 30 seconds. This will send the screenshot I just took to the back end. And what I will work on is making it more obvious to the user that something's actually happening. But as you can see through this dev tool, it did take the screenshot and it is sending it to the back end. This is very consistent, and I'll get a notification down here when it's ready. So I can just click up here, and here's my trade. It will give me different options, and they're clearly indented. And all I have to do now is put in these players for my players, and then make the trade myself. During development, I encountered and solved several challenging problems. First of all is OCR accuracy. A lot of the times when my program was taking player names, it would accidentally switch out letters to zeros or numbers. For instance, E to 3 or O to 0. I was able to get around this using the fuzzy name recognition, which was great because I could get the player names exactly how I wanted them to, and how they were listed on a website like ESPN. This did bring up other challenges. Some websites, players with hyphenated names may have a hyphen, and other websites don't. So it's certainly interesting, but in my specific data that I use in the script, I could set it however I wanted to, so it was fine. I just used a hyphen. And then the second biggest challenge was dividing the two teams. So here's my team, here's my opponent's team, and there's this little bar in the middle. The problem with having a screenshotting like open is that a player or like a user could highlight this bit and then over here, so that you couldn't split right in the middle, because they would obviously all be on the left side of that screenshot, which was a problem. But what I was able to do was I implemented a vertical projection algorithm, and it analyzed the pixel density to find the natural split point between the two teams. So basically I just found this little bit right here. So I just quickly wanted to highlight some of the really important pieces of my code. I'm sure we'll probably do this in the review, but just real fast, this fuzzy name matching method is so vitally important to help the program run. I don't think it could run without it. So it takes these OCR, the reading of the OCR, and it compares it with all the NBA players in a list, which I keep in a CSV. And so what it will do is it will compare the names, and if they're 70% the same, it will just use the NBA player's name, and I'm able to just use exactly the names that I need to for the AI and for my my other CSVs to understand. So I'll just have them, like all the same, which is great. And if it doesn't find one, it'll just return the normal name. That doesn't really happen because it's every single player. But then down here, I use the image pre-processing pipeline. So the Python image library, or PIL, if I can find it, right here, pre-process for OCR. This is great. So right before it runs the OCR, it will grayscale the image, it will upscale it, and then it will like apply sharpness filters and increase the contrast, and this greatly increases the accuracy of the OCR. Like, I was very surprised when I learned how much this actually affects the image reading. It's just really important and really cool. And then the AI prompt engineering, this is just these this is what I call to the Gemini API. And obviously if I didn't have the AI component of it, I won't be able to help the player get the trade that they want. And so this actually, somewhere in here, this is mainly how I indent it. And then right here I say briefly search the internet, and this is how I can get around players who are hurt the whole year. It just won't consider them at all because it'll realize that they have a important injury. I believe the user experience has greatly improved with these fantasy apps over the years. Especially nowadays, you can just click on a player and you see their live statistics updating in front of you. And my extension will make this experience even better because players can focus less on trades and more on watching their players play in games. And just some future enhancements I was going to make. I want to implement machine learning into this project so that the AI can determine a good trade versus a bad trade based on historic data. And I think this will help a lot. And it will make me less reliant on the Gemini AI. Another one was I wanted to push this towards browser extension stores so that you don't have to load as an unpacked extension. You could just go to the Google Chrome store and upload it. And then other small ones would be like more notifications or alerts when you're making so you know that the backend has your data. Like, it's very hard to tell and probably get rid of the crosshair. Just very small things that I think will go a long way. Just quickly, to go over it all, this project showcases my skills in full stack web development, computer vision and OCR, AI integration and prompt engineering, Chrome extension development, Python backend architecture, and real world problem solving and algorithm design. The NBA Fantasy Basketball Trade Analyzer turns a tedious 20-minute research task into a 30-minute automated analysis, demonstrating how modern technology can enhance decision making in everyday lives. Thank you guys for sticking around. You can find the complete source code, documentation, and installation instructions on my GitHub, and I'm happy to answer any questions about technical implementation or future development via email or during our upcoming interview.